Well, welcome back to the Tractor Therapy Podcast. Episode number, we have no idea, maybe 10. This might be 10. It's got to be close. We are back, and we are sponsored today by Skolton'sEquipment.com. They are paying us absolutely nothing, so if you'd like to sponsor...
They paid us everything.
Okay, they paid us a lot. But if you'd like to sponsor an episode, we are open to sponsors. But I think we should start with the news and...
No, pictures.
Well, that is the news.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is news. I think it was a Wacom... Well, Len Honcoop Gravel, they posted... Oh, goodness, I just lost it. Hold on.
They posted a picture on their Facebook page. We asked for pictures on the last episode. Submit your pictures. We want to highlight them on the podcast of you using your equipment. And Len Honcoop Gravel actually did us a real solid, posted a real beautiful picture of a Kubota excavator in a hold on a dig out and a Hitachi.
Also known as...
I forgot the name already.
You gotta say it
Land
right.
Cross.
Land Cross.
A Land Cross machine. They did us a solid and posted a picture with both machines in the same shot. Really, really great work.
Yep.
So if you want to be highlighted on this podcast, we'd
love to share some pictures
of you doing things with your machines that maybe you shouldn't be.
Or maybe it looks really good. You're proud of it. And,
we always like the blunder pictures too.
Yeah, blunders probably best.
Blunders are great.
We do have one more picture.
Yeah, I submitted a picture.
Yes.
So behind my house, I had a huge cottonwood. I would call it an old growth cottonwood tree. And it was in my backyard and it's in the way. I want to put a little barn there where it's at, happens to be in the wrong spot. And so I've been planning this for about a year to cut this tree down, but I don't dare cut it down myself. It's so big. Yeah. So he cut the tree down. And when he did it, I told him I'd take care of the rest of it, just cut it down, fall it for me. Meanwhile, if you can hear that extra noise, we are above our shop right now. So there's a lot of feedback. They're pounding on something outside. If you can hear that, that's what it is. But anyways, so I have to take care of this tree. It's on the ground. That's not the hard part. This stump, if you ever have dug out a stump before, especially an old growth cottonwood, it is got to be, I didn't measure it, I should have, but it's probably 6 feet wide. It's a huge tree.
Yeah.
And the stump. So I took my 57 excavator that I got at my house. I've dug out a couple big stumps with it before. It's a process. You get the ripper on it, you rip all the roots, you go around and around and around, try to move it a little bit. You can't move it. You dig some more. And I dug around this cottonwood stump and I could not move it. I could not even get close to making this stump shift at all. Like I'm like, okay, I need a bigger machine. Luckily, SE Rents, our rental company, has a JCB 131 in rental. It's a 13 metric ton machine. Yeah, 13 metric ton. It's got a thumb on it.
Did you haul that with your pickup?
No. I don't have chains. You need chains for that one. No. I had the low boy drop it off. I had Hank. I was like, hey, if you're ever out that way, drop that thing off. I need to pick this stump out. And I'm thinking, that's a way bigger machine. That's machines over twice the size of the 57. So I'm like, this thing will do it. So I get it out there. And right when I get home one night, I'm like, I just got to try it. So I drove it there. I get there. I'm thinking this thing's just going to grab it and pull it out, like, no chance. Like the machine just tips over. I'm like, man, this stump is stuck. So we dug around it even more. It was like a moat. Like it was a 6-foot moat around this stump. We dug around. I got some pictures, some videos. And then finally, I got the stump to just shift slightly. Just slightly. I could see it shift. I'm like, oh, it's loose. It's loose. So then I tipped it over. Well, then it's stuck. I can't get it out of this hole. This hole's humongous. So I grab a wheel loader. My neighbor Rod actually had this idea. He's like, well, if you get the wheel loader and hook a cable to it and pull on it and push with the excavator at the same time, you might be able to turn it out. And then because right now with that stump it's suctioned down with the water that's in there. It's just it's stuck. So he got a cable. We got the cable. Try to give it a pull. Snaps the cable. I'm like, oh goodness. He has another cable. We get the cable. I push a little different with the excavator, and we get it. We got it to tip over, finally, which felt like almost the most insignificant thing in the world to get a stump to tip over, but that's the game changer because when the stump tips over, you can let it dry out for a couple days, and then you can knock the dirt off the bottom. It gets a lot lighter. And then 2 nights ago, I got just the excavator alone. I moved it all the way out of the hole. And it's out. It's drying out. It's probably going to lose, I don't know, my scientific estimate's probably 100 pounds a day.
Wow.
I have no clue though. It's going to lose some weight because it's cottonwood, so they hold a lot of water. But it's out. That was a 2-machine process, actually 3 machines if you count the 57 that I started digging with. The 57 did a lot of hard stump breaking work because I have a ripper for that. It's just a single shank, so you can rip stumps real easy. But we do have a 131 if you want to take stumps out of the ground. But the only thing that thing doesn't have is it doesn't have a front blade. If it had a front blade, then I don't think it would tip as easy when you're trying to pick stuff up. Yeah. So if I could redo that, but I think in the future, SE Rents will have a bigger excavator with a front blade, just because I think they're a little more usable then. At the time we ordered that machine, it was a weight issue. We didn't know if we wanted it to be that heavy for hauling, but I think it needs a blade. But that was my story, and you can see the pictures. We got that stump out. That stump's humongous. I actually went to the Indian Res to buy fireworks for the 4th of July.
Oh,
and my wife,
some fireworks in there?
My wife, she was sick of me messing with this stump. Because I've been messing with it off and on. Like, I'll go try to move it, see if I can, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And she's like, you need to buy some dynamite. And I'm like, if you know my wife at all, she is not one to suggest dynamite. So I did ask the feller at the stand.
The pyrotechnician experts.
I asked him if, after I'm buying my kids like a bunch of Roman candles, I'm like, you got any dynamite? He's like, how much you want? It was like, how much you want? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I got a huge stump. He's like, he like leans over. He pulls this big old brick looking thing out with a huge wick on it. Looks homemade, like the most homemade thing I've ever seen. I'm like, what will that do? He's like, that'll get rid of the stump. And I'm like, how much is it? He's like, $250. And I'm like, it's over my firework budget.
Wow.
I'm like, that's a bomb. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, I'm going to walk around to the stands and really think about this way, buy some more Roman candles for the show. And I might come back and buy that. And then I talked myself out of it. I heard so many explosions at that fireworks stand. All these people lighting up.
You didn't do it?
No. But the next day or a day later, I got it out.
Oh.
The problem is with blowing up a stump, I don't know where the stump goes. Like, is it going to hit my house? Like, I'm not good at that stuff.
Yeah, at some point you got to worry about shrapnel. Yeah.
Shrapnel or shrap wood?
No, just blow it up.
That's an unknown for me, but I did explore that option because back in the old days, there were stumps that bigger. They didn't have machines that I used to do it, to get them out of the holes. They probably left them, actually. But if they had to get them out of the way, I imagine they did blow them up because you used to be able to buy dynamite at the hardware store to get rid of stumps and create. That's actually how a lot of the ditches were made in Linden, the double ditch road. That was all dynamited. They didn't excavate that. They had guys that did that for a living. They lined and they blew up the ditch and the dirt just disappears. Of course, it goes somewhere, but it creates the ditch that way.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you used to be able to buy it DuPont TNT. You can see some old packaging. DuPont made TNT, and you could buy it at the local hardware store because that's how you got rid of stuff.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you have any pictures of some old I know there's people that collect that stuff, like the old packaging for DuPont TNT. Like it was a utility thing. It wasn't even anything terrorist or mischievous about it. It was just like, I got dynamite in the shed. Let's go blow it up. But my neighbor Rod did not have any dynamite. He just had the cables, and I owe him 2 cables now because we actually did break the second one. It split right at the end when we tipped it over. So I have to buy 2 new cables. But that's my submit a picture and story.
And we should probably announce the winner of the trivia question for a hat, which I think we're just doing tractor therapy hats while we got them.
Tractor therapy hats.
I believe the question was, what was the market share of wheeled skid steers in the market of total? Wow, we're really struggling here. Of total skid steer sales. And we had a bunch of good guesses. A couple guys really close. One that was actually pretty much dead on. It was 14.5%. And Zach Kruger, I1M, guessed 15. So
he's technically over.
Oh, we're doing prices right?
No. You can give it to him.
Well, he is the winner of the hat. And we do have another trivia question, but you're going to have to stick around until the end.
To get the trivia question.
On that one.
But leading into that trivia question, that was news. But we got some reviews.
Yeah,
we got a review about somebody asked us a question
Comment, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, comment.
Yeah, so we posted the short of us talking about the John Deere soap,
Yep.
which we have not had a chance to review the soap yet.
Not yet.
Maybe we'll have to buy some soap and get some soap.
Eventually.
But we did have a comment saying his name.
Yeah, you can say his name.
His name is Mike, and he says, not this Mike, but you laugh at JD, John Deere, but they have been your most successful used tractor sales. I've never seen anything else get shipped out from the Midwest for resale.
And there's another one. Why do you?
And another Mike comes in and says, very well said.
And then why? There was another one about why you hating on John Deere, right? You guys hate on John Deere or something. But anyways,
yeah,
there's some. Whenever you poke the bear is John Deere, and John Deere has a lot of following. Hence, AKA people that wear their underwear and use their soap. There's a cult-like following. When you poke the bear, you get these comments, and it's not that we hate John Deere. We like their product. They make a lot of good product. We've had a long history with John Deere's product, long history. Like that. That is how my dad started this business. Our dad started this business, hauling late model John Deere's like this 4440 from the Midwest to Washington, resold them, lightly used. Done that for many years, many years. So we actually have a long history with John Deere, and we have a lot of familiarity with it. But because we have that familiarity, we also know some bad stuff about John Deere, like the bad stuff, like the nasty corporate stuff you hear about that kind of limited our doing of that. We don't really do a lot of used John Deeres anymore because John Deere made it really hard to do that. From a independent shop standpoint, we couldn't fix them. We couldn't, that stuff that all came down the pipe. Also their software was really, there's no way to get into that to reprogram stuff if you needed to do that. And then the long story short, John Deere also decided to change their whole dealership model. And that's, I believe, when everything went downhill, starting to go downhill for John Deere in a large corporate sense. That was what they wanted. They wanted to be like Cat. And they are becoming like Cat. They have very few dealers, lots of big dealers. The few dealers are big, and they want to get rid of the single store, the double store, the four store. I think, in the end of the day, if you have under 20 stores, John Deere don't want you. And from a dealer that is not John Deere, that's great news, because locally those dealers, like I'll say it because I don't even think anyone really cares in Linden that works at Pape.
Yeah,
they're the John Deere dealer. That no one cares there. Like from what I've heard, we've heard it all the time. Like that's what you get with those big corporate dealers, that they take over these locations like Linden, which used to be a really going rate location. Like we have a few people that work here that used to work at Washington Tractor, North Washington Implement, the John Deere dealer, and they left, and all the old timers left that work there, and they don't have any staying power. Like with people, like you talk to people. I talked to a guy the other day. I'm like, where are you working at? He's like, I work at Pape now. I'm like, no way. And then I talked to him like a couple weeks later. I quit that. That was stupid. The corporate world is hard to retain. And what gets with it, your local community suffers if they depend on that product. And other dealerships that sell different brands have opportunities then. And like us, we sell Claas. Claas is a great company. Kubota, great company. JCB, great company and product. And we have I really like our product mix. I don't hate John Deere's product mix. I just think what John Deere's doing to their customers is taking them for granted. Yeah. So John Deere's saying, we don't need to have good service locally. We just need to support the big people. Yep. Good. And then the people that don't care about support, they just want a green tractor, will still buy a green tractor. Yep. And that's what John Deere's banking on. They're banking on a legacy customer that's going to keep coming back. They got the name. Matter who owns it. If it's Walmart that owns it, they're going to still buy a John Deere because that's what they want. And that's what John Deere's based on. They're not basing on winning that customer for life like Kubota. Kubota's made a big push lately to be the local dealer of choice. Kubota is not pushing dealers to merge and become bigger. They want the dealers to be the best dealers in their local market. And that's enabling dealers to stay smaller and stay more focused on their market. And I really commend Kubota for taking that stance, because Case isn't doing it. John Deere is definitely not doing it. It's already been done. Caterpillar, like those dealers, there's not very many of them. They're humongous. You can't even walk in a Caterpillar dealership in most places where there is one and talk to a salesperson. They don't exist. It's like, oh, you're here to buy a machine. Well, we have those we don't have salesmen. Like, you're not big enough to buy almost to buy a cat. You have to, it's a different process. I'm not saying that's everywhere. That's a lot of places. And I was on a trip recently. We have a new store in Othello.
Yeah.
And we just hired a new guy, Bennett there. He's in sales, and I went there to train him. And when I go to Eastern Washington, I used to work at RDO Equipment in Pasco. And so I like to go visit my old roots there, John Deere dealer. And I go around their dealerships. They have a bunch of locations now. I think they have like 10 over there. And I stop in at a few of them, check out what they got in stock. And there's one thing I noticed this time. I was in Hermiston. I worked in Hermiston for 1 year, and I worked in Pasco for 4 years. And I noticed in Hermiston, when I pulled in there, I still know some people that work there. I went and talked to them. I noticed there's no lawnmowers, no gators, and no tractors under 100 horsepower.
Really?
Nothing there. So, but there's big tractors. They had 8Rs and 9Rs and maybe a sprayer. That was it. They had a lot of those things. And I go in and I asked the guy there I know, and I'm like, what's the deal? Like, when I worked at that store, that RDO always has new ways to try things, but
and if people don't know, RDO is a big dealer. How many locations?
They're 30, but they just bought another 10, I heard. Yeah. So they're in their 40s of agriculture dealership locations. Yeah. They probably have 100 if you count the construction ones.
What does RDO stand for?
It's the guy who owns it or founded it, Ron D. Offit.
Okay.
Which I met him. I ate dinner with him one time you don't remember me, but he's old now. He's quite old. He's still alive. His daughter, Christy, runs it. But RDO is always a progressive at trying new things. So when I got hired on at RDO, I was called a transactional sales manager, or a transactional account manager. Pretty much a fancy word for I was in store sales. And in the organization, each store had a transactional account manager, which was in short named trannies. Like, have the tranny do that. That was always like whoever was the transactional account manager was considered the tranny. Yeah. So, hey, call Pasco, have their tranny go get this out. Like that was all. So for 1 year I was a tranny. I didn't mind being a tranny, but like I was very soon wanted to not be a tranny anymore because it was kind of derogatory. Like not in a way like transsexual. It was like this thing, like it was an entry level job in sales. And I wanted to not be a tranny anymore. And well, so I asked Marty when I was down there, when I walked in there, I was like, do you guys have a tranny anymore? Like, because there wasn't many people in the store. like, do you have one of those guys anymore? He's like, nope, we don't do in-store sales anymore. We've shifted all that to one location in the Tri-Cities area. Kennewick is their lawn and garden store. So if you're in Hermiston, and this is the same at all their locations, so Moses Lake, Hermiston, Othello, I'm thinking of another one, Sunnyside, Wasco, Pendleton. If you walk in there to go buy a lawnmower, you cannot. 1, because they don't have it in stock. 2, because there's no one to actually sell it to you. And they just don't care. Like, if you want to buy a lawnmower, gator, or a compact utility tractor, if you're in Pendleton, you got to drive almost 2 hours or an hour and a half to Tri-Cities to go buy that, because that's where they stock them at. So what they're doing is they're making these rural dealerships that still, Hermiston's a town of probably 20,000 people. It's bigger than Linden.
Yeah. And
you can go buy a Branson tractor from the Branson dealer that's in that town. But you go to the John Deere dealer, you ain't big enough. And that's what I don't like about John Deere. And that's because they don't want people like us in the business because we're small. They want to deal with big dealers with big ideas.
What do you think the reason, does it give them more control over their dealership model? Like, does John Deere have a say to these big dealers and it's easier to,
They have all the control. For example, recently the Farm Equipment News Magazine published an article. They have a summit called the Dealership Mind Summit. I've been to it one time. Yeah. Dad's went to it a couple times. Every year they have a Dealership Mind Summit where all these dealers can go to this summit no matter what brand you are. And you go to this summit and you can share ideas and you learn a lot. It's a good conference to go to. It's always at the wrong time of year for me, so I only been one time. But there's a lot of John Deere dealers that go to that and sponsor it. John Deere does not like it when their dealerships are influenced by outside like independent parties. For instance, the Farm Equipment
The
Magazine.
industry. Yeah.
Yeah. So what John Deere did this year, they say it wasn't on purpose, but they last minute scheduled a mandatory dealer meeting in far enough away from that meeting so that all their dealers couldn't go to that dealership mine summit. And Farm Equipment Magazine published an article about they did this on purpose. They do not want their dealers being influenced by other people. They want to control what their dealers do and what services they get in bed with, because at those meetings you can buy a lot of, or you can get in touch with a lot of cool vendors that provide technology that isn't a John Deere approved technology, like for instance software, and DBSs and different ideas. And so John Deere did that. That's a huge story. Farm Equipment Magazine didn't hold anything back on that. They pretty much said, John Deere hates us. And because they're independent, it's a small magazine. It's like the only farm equipment magazine in the business. John Deere never sponsors the magazine. They don't want anything they've done it a few times, but not very often. And that's just the big bad John Deere. And big bad John Deere wants to be big bad cat. They want to be together. They want to be the same. And at the end of the day, the customer, a lot of people commenting probably don't understand that in the background. They don't understand that the John Deere that they love is not the same John Deere.
No.
They make good products still, but that's a corporation for profit, which almost every business is, but they don't care about the little guy. The little guy is still going to buy the soap, still going to buy the peanuts. That's John Deere label. I got some of those. Yeah. The dealer gave me some. Yeah. Underwear. They're going to buy the sweatshirts. They're going to buy the hats, and they're still going to buy the lawnmower, even if the John Deere dealer actually doesn't even stock the lawnmower. And I kind of wonder if this model, it's not at every John Deere location. This is an RDO thing that I noticed when I was over there. For instance, Pape doesn't do this. They still stock the full line at the dealership. There might not be someone there to sell it at all the locations, but they do stock it. But I wonder if RDO is successful at this, which they might be. You might have John Deere dealers that just sell the agriculture product, the big boy stuff.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy the small stuff, you might have to go to I'm not saying this is happening now, but Lowe's and Home Depot sell the small John Deere tractor, the little garden tractors, they sell those. I have a feeling if the true big dealers don't want anything to do with that, we call it consumer products. If they don't want anything to do with that, will John Deere sign a deal with Home Depot and be like, anything 40 horse and below is at Home Depot? Or, you know what I mean? They might sign a retail agreement with a licensing thing. I'm saying it could go that way if the big dealers like RDOs, the Papes, take that business for granted too much and lose too much market share. Because right now, if you want good service, your John Deere dealership is not the location to get that from. It's other brands. And I'm not tooting our own horn. I'm just saying your Kubota's really going after the local dealer of choice. They want to be that small town dealer that really cares and shows up to the 4-H auctions. And
I wonder too if maybe they go more direct to consumer with small line. Hey, just go online and pick your machine, and
they might there's some nuance to it, but I could see them doing that.
But then you're cutting out the whole dealer, and now John Deere's getting all the profit of that machine versus.
They'll never do that because there's too much little nuance to little tractors. You got to set up this, set up that. Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts to that. The other thing is you lose out when you get these big dealers like Pape coming into town, and you lose the live, they don't support the local sports. They might a little bit. It's nothing like they would have if say the old owner used to own that,
or going to the FFA auctions.
That stuff. You lose that, and that's what people don't see. I was at that FFA auction 2 years ago, and I sat next to this farmer, and he didn't know who I was sitting kind of behind him. And I don't go to that. Dad usually goes to that. Yeah. He sent me to that because he was gone. I think he regretted it because I bought a lot of animals. Yeah. It was not good. He told me to buy who we know, who does business with us, buy their animal. So I did. I don't think he understood I knew a lot of people. But anyways, I was sitting by this farmer and behind him, and he didn't know I was behind it. I kind of said out loud because I was like, huh, none of the other equipment dealers are here, because I could look around the room. I was like, Brim's not here, Farmers Equipment's not here, Pape's not here. And he turned around kind of, but didn't see me. He's like, yeah, none of them show up anymore. They don't show up to these things. I didn't say our name, of course. So then it was I think it was one of the James kids' steer was next.
Yeah.
And we bought it because they're a good customer of ours. And they announced it when they bought winner and bidder, Skolton's Equipment. The guy turns around and he's like, oh, son of a He was talking crap about how none of them came. But the truth was none of the other ones were there.
Yeah.
But we were there. And I still remember that. That was hilarious because I was kind of like, oh, this could be kind of funny. He's kind of trashed.
That is funny.
All of them never show up anymore. Like, rah, rah. I don't know if he meant to include us in that, but we were there, and I'm not saying that's the end all be all of support, but when people love on John Deere, just be careful. They're a big corporation that really, really does not care about the small customer.
And it was, in a way, it's shifting from an agriculture tractor brand to just a brand.
It's a brand. It's a technology company.
A brand.
They even say it in some of their statements on their corporate releases. They're a technology company now, and part of it is that is very true.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's people running that company that I don't know their background, but this old 4440 ain't the same backbone of John Deere that was there when that tractor, people fell in love with that model and that series. And like that's what we don't trash on Deere because we hate their product. They have good product. We use a lot of their GPS in a lot of our machines. And there's still some, if you ask my dad what his favorite tractor is, he told us the 4440.
Yeah.
We sell other brands. He still likes that one. That's
he wanted to be the John Deere dealer.
If my dad could redo it, like if ever there was offered a chance to, even said it, like I remember in the 90s, like when I was a boy, he's like, maybe I can buy a John Deere dealership someday. That was when I was younger. And I remember later when there actually was maybe an opportunity to do that, he's like, they'll never look at me because I'm not big enough.
Yeah.
I don't, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter about how my dad would serve the customer.
No,
it was never about that. It was about how many stores do you have and what's your liquid capital, and even like the Washington tractors who made that group in Washington made a really good go at it, merging all those independent dealers to, I think 10 stores, a 10-store group called Washington Tractor, which was a really good, I think a really well-run organization. They couldn't make a go out. They weren't big enough. That was 10 stores.
That's crazy.
And because John Deere will force them out. If John Deere doesn't want that dealer, they'll force them out because they want this other guy. And they'll do it through volume discounts, kickbacks, because they won't let the little dealers get those kickbacks.
Yeah.
And then it makes them uncompetitive. And at the end of the day, the customer loses because when, for instance, you want to buy a John Deere tractor in Washington, especially say a 30 horsepower tractor, you want to buy that John Deere tractor, Pat Bay controls the margin. I mean, they don't have to be competitive.
Yeah.
Like us Kubota dealers, there's a lot of inline Kubota competition. We have to be competitive. Otherwise we're not going to sell stuff.
Yeah.
And so if you are hell bent on buying a John Deere small tractor or big tractor and don't want to be new, you're going to pay the price because the dealers don't have to be competitive.
Yeah.
And John Deere did that to control things.
Yeah.
And that's why we bash on John Deere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
and to your point, like when I went to Florida for Kubota training, the amount of guys that are there from little dealerships, like there isn't just a bunch of big name dealers there doing training. It was just countless guys that are, we just got a little store. We got one location.
Walking into a John Deere dealership today reminds me a little bit of like when I go to Best Buy. There's people that care a little bit, but like if you want to talk to like someone that has some horsepower, it ain't at that store.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the corporate headquarters of that dealership or the corporate spot of Best Buy, or even name all those big businesses. There's no one there that has a lot of skin in the game, as Dad likes to say. Like there's not a lot of horsepower at those dealerships. Those dealerships run on a certain model. Anything outside that box, they won't do. And outside the box sometimes is what a local customer really needs.
Yeah.
Service and warranty. But I think we beat up John Deere enough today.
That's enough.
Yeah. Dad would say, I think we beat that one, Dad.
Yeah.
But we like to bash on our competitive products, and John Deere is probably the most respected product we compete against.
Yeah.
They build a great product, but I don't like their dealership structure, and I don't think the customers should either. And I think they've paid dearly on support issues in the past.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But bringing a big bad corporation like John Deere up and going into the news here.
Yeah.
The other big bad corporation, Cat. They have the lawsuit.
There's an update on that.
There is an update.
Cat lawsuit. The cats are still fighting.
The cats are still fighting. Well, one's a caterpillar.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Cat's going after everything. Okay. Everything Bobcat has. Cat's suing them for everything. And I don't know if this is like because of Cat retaliating, but Bobcat's CEO just announced he's retiring. Not resigning, but retiring. So if he was resigning, I'd be like, oh, this is definitely because of the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. But it might be coincidental that he might have. You think if you're the CEO of Bobcat, they might have thrown this lawsuit by you first before they ran with it. And he is retiring. I did get that news. Not immediately, so maybe he's going to try to see this out and see if they can hold on to their game against Cat. But it looks like it's getting a little nasty, and probably no one's going to win except the lawyers, as we've speculated before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Cat's stock has gone crazy. I don't know if you followed.
Well, because it's a lot to do with infrastructure and mining.
There you go.
Yeah, their market will follow those two markets. Like their stock will follow those two markets. Infrastructure, they live off the federal government.
Yep.
Like not in a bad way. It's just the way it is. And same as with John Deere, if a farm bill, I think we got a farm bill, but if that got released, John Deere stock usually jumps because a farm bill usually means subsidies for farms and more money to buy tractors.
Yeah, it's funny that Cat stock can rise because of the AI, like power infrastructure. That's all a boom for that stuff, and you have a stock like Cat that's gone crazy.
Yeah, and people will buy Cat even if the Cat dealer doesn't care as much. Like if the service ain't there, it's a Cat product. It's got this weird following that you don't blame. It's for a reason at one point, but I think Cat's like 20 years ahead of John Deere on their dealership model, maybe 10. But yeah, they want to be there. Probably get some hate on that. I got actually in trouble because of a news release.
Yeah, I did hear about this.
Yes. Yesterday, Claas released the new Axion 8 series on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, anywhere in the world.
You just Google it, you find it.
You find it. It came on my news feed. It came in an email even to me from Claas. They released the Axion 8 series, the new model. It's low 200s to 300 horsepower. And I was excited about it. I found it in the morning. Sometimes Claas will do that. They won't like really have a lot of buildup for something. And then all of a sudden you'll just find it on YouTube. I'm like, oh, cool, the new tractor. So I'm on this WhatsApp group, this tractor group that's only Claas employees and only Claas dealers on this WhatsApp group. We kind of share information, problems, excitement, troubleshooting things. And I shared it. I'm like, looks like we got a new tractor to sell, boys. And I shared the video. I'm like, sweet. And then I look at the number and it's an Axion 8.290. And I'm like, I said, too bad it's not 300 horsepower because that's kind of like a wish list. Everyone wanted 300 horsepower. And I just kind of said that on the message and I didn't get any response. And then I did some more looking and it's, the 290 is actually 313 horsepower, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't call it a 300 at least, but they didn't. And I got a message from someone at Claas saying, you got to delete that off the WhatsApp chat. That's supposed to be a secret that this tractor's out. And I'm like, why did they post it on Facebook, YouTube? And like Claas runs their company in two ways. They have the German group and then they have North America group. For some reason, the North America group always thinks they can keep the German releases secret.
It's literally on Claas's website.
Yeah, it's like for some reason I'm not like they're like, well, it's supposed to be a secret until next week for the North America dealers. I'm like, well, then you shouldn't post it on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, it's a tough one to keep.
Like it's I get baffling. So I did delete my post on a closed chat WhatsApp group that only Claas people can see anyway. But I did delete my post, but it's funny. But anyways, Claas is a little funny like that. They try to like be secretive in a world where it's really hard to be secretive about anything new release. It just spreads like wildfire. But the new tractor is out. It's got the new cab. I don't know other much about it.
8.240, 8240, 8270, and an 8290, starting at 265 horsepower, 264, 291, and 313.
313. I wish they would have
C-matic
really
transmissions.
There must be a reason for it, but I don't get it. But marketing wise, it should have been an 8.2. I don't know. Sorry, 8.310.
Yeah,
should have been a 310. That would have been a really big marketing. I don't know why they didn't do that. Even though the 290 is 313, I'm a marketing guy. So when tractor models mean something, and they could mean even a little more if they had the real number on them.
I'm going to just read. As the successor to the Axion 800 large tractors, Claas will launch a new Axion 8 C-matic series in the summer of 2026. The 3 large tractors with a maximum power output range from 240 to 290, parentheses, 264 to 313 with dynamic power.
Okay, it's got like a boost or something.
Yeah.
But I'm still saying, like, marketing's everything. And when John Deere's putting 350 on their 7R, where that's the max boosted power too. Like, I'm just saying, Fence doing the same thing. John Deere's doing it. Case does it. New Holland does it to a different level. And Claas is just being too honest with their horsepowers.
Yeah.
They need to be a little exuberant. Maybe one reason they didn't want me to go crazy on the WhatsApp group, maybe the North America version is going to be an 8.310 next week when they release that. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe, yeah.
By the time you're watching this, it might have been already released. But right now, I'm in the doghouse with Claas a little bit. I got in trouble. Had to delete my posts. But one thing
I'm sure you talking about it on the podcast will help.
Well, they don't sponsor, so I don't have to. They could sponsor, and I would really abide by their rules. But, I would. But I didn't get in trouble for one other thing I kind of shared with just our sales group. There's been about a year ago, Kubota bought out the company ROC Mergers. They're an Italian hay merger company.
Yeah. They
bought them out and kind of hoped and wondered. It was pretty public news that they bought them out. And I had a few farmers ask me, is there going to be a Kubota branded hay merger? I'm like, well, I don't know anything about it. And I even had a guy ask me recently, like, you heard anything more about it? I'm like, no, I haven't heard anything more about it. And then all of a sudden, I see this Instagram video. Canada's got the Kubota branded hay merger. So the Kubota Canada got it first, which not surprising. They have a little smaller dealer group up there. They can control things a little differently. Yeah. The ROC merger is going to be branded Kubota. Not sure in North America, but big steps. That would be a big thing if we can get that hay merger locally. Claas doesn't even have a hay merger, but I've been told they're working on one. That's the industry news that I got. Yeah. One of the big industry news we kind of covered in the John Deere rant was John Deere pulling all their dealers from that conference was a pretty big problem.
Yeah.
Like a lot of John Deere dealers are not happy with it. I know that Farm Equipment Magazine's not happy with it. They wrote a whole article and didn't hold anything back. If you want to read it, probably will have a link below. Big article. But we have a trivia question.
Do we have a trivia question?
Yeah.
What is it?
Don't you have it?
No.
I'll make one up here.
Oh, you know what? We did say we were going to update something. We had some new robotic Segway mowers doing blueberry rows.
Oh, yeah.
That is working. Mm-hmm. So we are looking to roll that out in more fields. We got some more fields slated for install. So if you're looking to mow between your rows robotically at a very affordable price.
Yeah, 6 acres for how much?
$7,000.
$7,000.
And 3 acres starting at $5,500. They work really well. These are full old growth kind of canopy rows. Doesn't lose GPS.
So you got that 1 6 acre working in.
Yep.
At that blueberry. How many actual physical acres?
So I mean, like,
because it's only counting the rows, right?
It's only counting the rows. So technically, you could,
like if someone has a 10 acre field,
I'd say 10 acre field, a 6 acre unit would be pretty darn close. Like if you do headlands and and your rows. Like that's, I think a 6-acre would cover that pretty good. But, and the nice thing is the mower's going underneath. The mower's only,
My wife's calling me.
the mower's only, 2 feet tall, if that. So you're not losing any product by that going through there. If you're on
I
a
won't
normal,
knock off the berries.
we're not knocking off berries. It's quiet. Doesn't run people over. Like things really smart. So.
It moves fast.
And it moves fast. Moves,
really
I mean, 2.2 miles an hour is what it is. I don't know what that is in feet per second, but it moves like at a good walk speed, which is pretty fast for a robot mower. And it works at night, works during the day. No, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Got it working. But yeah, it's a little bit of mapping each row, but do it once and you're done.
Gotcha. Well, anyways, yeah, call Willie or call Skoltons. We got many sales guys that can sell those robots.
Yeah.
And we got them all the way down to what point? How many is the smallest acre one?
We can do 0.15 acres, but really a quarter acre.
Quarter acre is the most popular.
But even if you got a small city lot, like you're looking at $1,000, even a little less than. Have us install it.
Never mow your lawn again.
Have us install it $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. You don't have to touch a thing. We'll set it up, schedule, lawn's mowed.
Yep. So the trivia question.
Trivia, yes.
So the Axion 8.290
Yes.
replaces which model in the Claas lineup?
Ooh, it's a good one.
You could Google it. You might not be able to figure it out because the previous Claas models didn't mean anything. Like they didn't have a horsepower alignment, but the new ones all will. But yeah, that's the trivia question. You can win a hat. We said on the last episode we're going to try to get some guests.
Yes.
And we do have a couple in mind. We just got to line them up with a time to come here.
Dates
And I hope it will be good. It'll be intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Our dad was supposed to be on again today, but he went to Texas.
And
then
Omaha.
he went to Omaha because he's going to go to see the release of the new Claas tractor that I spoiled for some people in the WhatsApp group that don't have YouTube or Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah. Lots of people.
Yeah. Anyway, he's at the Claas dealer meeting. So he might have some stories. We might have him on next time just to recap his trip from to Texas to Omaha.
Yep.
And then, anyways, nothing else.
That's about it.
We appreciate you guys all for watching. If you got this far, please subscribe, at least if you haven't. And
stay tuned for the next one. And also comments. You got topics. You got stuff you want us to talk about.
You got some more hate for us. We love it. We don't hate John Deere. We just don't like the direction their company's taking him.
Yeah.
And there's better companies out there running better manufacturing, like Claas. Claas is family owned.
Mm-hmm.
JCB is also family owned.
JCB is family owned, and I do believe if John Deere was still family owned, their dealer body would look completely different.
Yeah,
they wouldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Kubota's not family owned; they're corporation, but they see. I think any manufacturer, if they look at like what they want, they'd probably be like, "Yeah, we want what Cat has."
Yeah,
they only got to deal with 10 people. You know what I mean? Or it's an exaggeration maybe, but. They're going to want that. John Deere saw that. Yeah, we want that. I guarantee you Kubota looked at that once and be like, yeah, we want that. But we see how it's going with John Deere.
Yeah.
Let's pull the reins back and go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Someone smart once told me, if you see everyone going one way, go the other way. Yeah. I feel like that's what Kubota's doing as really promoting the local dealer of choice, as no one else is doing. So we're fortunate to be representing 2 family companies and then 1 corporation that I feel like is just making the right moves at the right time. That's Kubota.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you want anything from us, equipment topics discussed on this, if you'd
like to sponsor,
we still are unsponsored at this moment.
Unsponsored.
We did get a standing desk sponsor.
Oh,
well, they wanted us to promote their desks, but
we're not standing for 40 minutes, so
no. So we turned them down, but we're looking more industry line. If you want to come on the show, let us know. Anyways, or if you need to buy equipment, we have that for sale too.
SkoltonsEquipment.com,
where everything's pictured and priced.
See you next time.